Hey there guys, welcome back. Maverick here today with another episode of Spy Family. So, as we continue on with this surprisingly long multi-episode arc, yeah, we'll just, I guess where we last left off, Fiona and Lloyd are still, I think, in the finals of the current tennis tournament, and so we'll just see about that, right? Personally, I'm still kind of hoping for Euro to make an appearance in this entire arc. Obviously she made an appearance, but I mean actually being somewhat involved with the matters at hand. I am interested to see if they are able to integrate it, or is this going to be of a just, after everything concludes, go back to home and then, wrap things up kind of situation, right? So with that being said, let's get into the episode. Alright, so we started with the opening here. I skipped it. Let's just begin in the episode directly in 3, 2, 1, play. Wait, did she did she literally leap over to the opponent's side? Huh. What? That's kind of like way too obvious. Oh, okay. I mean, sure. Oh wait, okay, I think she's in. Well, about that. Okay. What now? An actual sniper rifle? Seriously? Oh, okay. It's kind of like a tranquilizer of some sort. Oh, I thought. If you're going to go through the trouble of actually shooting them, you might like want to just directly tranquilize them or something. This is just. Yeah, you would figure. Really. What the actual? Okay, this is getting more and more ridiculous here. And somehow nobody suspects anything, right? It's just getting more and more ridiculous. Oh! Go, 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 go. Did you? Oh my god. And I love how, like, nobody is. Uh huh. No. Have they finally kind of, yeah. About time, right? Somebody somewhere should be suspecting them, right? Alright, so no, still nobody suspects these two who come out of nowhere are somehow suspicious, right? Are they going to pose as the state? Is Lloyd going to pose as state security? And I wonder if we're gonna see Yuri again. I think that was probably Lloyd, right? The one who was switching the painting. This one, right? Yeah, that much was obvious. Yeah, there has to be some like aftermath. Yeah, like I said, even though that's not the mm-hmm. Oh, oh, oh. Shoot about. Okay, what fireworks gonna come out of this one? Oh, so now we're gonna have a one-on-one match between Fiona and Yoru? She's gonna challenge her to a tennis match, and then Yoru's just gonna show her athleticism, right? We can all see where this is going. Is Anya gonna tell Yoru, like, Mama, don't lose? Anya's just like, WTF is this? Right, right. And I've been saying that that Fiona kind of like is sort of like the childhood friend sort of trope character in your in your rom coms, right? Yoru's kind of like the newcomer, right? The one that the protagonist suddenly falls heads over heels for, whereas Fiona is kind of like the childhood friend character who's always been there but missed her opportunity and whatnot. She's gonna go full on. Oh, it's cut? uh, it's just going to... Oh yeah, your love is heavy, alright. Very heavy. Okay, let me guess. She's going to strike it back, but the ball's gonna fly somewhere. Oh, no. The racket just broke. I mean, we all saw that coming from a mile away, but... You know, Fiona's, Fiona's monologue definitely adds to the scene, eh? In tennis? Right, so now we have Yuri number 2. Hmm? Right. Oh, she's... she's wearing the rings. It's a diary? Right, and so it turns out to a farce at the end, eh? So he's just an idol otaku, I see. Give it up, Lloyd. Give it up. Look at those two rings. Mm-hmm. Oh, family. Oh, Guru is still brooding. Wait, why did we end on like that scene though? So I guess that means we're not completely done with the aftermath of this. Hopefully this means some more stuff Euro-centered though. Alright, I don't think there's anything after this, but if there is, I'll see you guys after that. If not, well, I'll see you guys in the musing section. Okay, apparently there is a little bit more after the ending credits, so let's watch this together in 3, 2, 1, play. Oh, it's Fiona working on her swing, eh? Okay, we really did not need that. Well, maybe we did. Anyways, I'll see you guys after this. Well now, that was the end of this particular arc. If nothing else, I'm glad that in the end we got to see that one-on-one with Fiona and Yoru, even though I think we all knew exactly what would happen in that situation, right? And so, it is what it is. Overall though, I think, you know, as over the top as this is, I don't know, like, on one hand, I think I mentioned at the very beginning of the entire Spy Family series, right? I feel like I love that they are going, even though this is, like, clearly, like, spy and agent and, you know, intelligence agency related and all that kind of stuff. We got assassins, we got spies, we got secret police and all that. It's a very over-the-top kind of show, right? We knew from the very beginning, in the first 3 or 4 different episodes, that this is not exactly, you know, we're looking at cartoon physics here, right? Even though, of course, anime is typically, you have different kinds of anime and whatnot, but this is definitely one that's more in the unrealistic physics kind of camp of things. So, in a sense, the sort of match that they had going on there with you know, with them demonstrating like superhuman abilities and whatnot, it was kind of to be expected. I kind of feel like that maybe. I'm torn between thinking of whether it's a little bit too much or it's actually not over the top enough, but I guess at the end of the day it doesn't really matter. What really matters is the match ended and we got to see them, you know, pulling a switcheroo on a painting, and that is what it is, right? Obviously, you know, it's fun. Fiona's character is quite funny in the way that she's, you know, how she always has a freak out as a monologue and whatnot, and it's definitely hilarious. I feel like in a certain perspective it's even more hilarious than Yuri, because it's just because of the gap between the what her expression is showing and what her inner monologues are. I find that really funny. But, you know, as I said at the very beginning, I said that what I really want to see is some progression in terms of Yoru, right? I feel like so far we're really not. I mean, Yoru is clearly playing the role of the kind of clueless, kind of you know, kind of clumsy housewife and all that. You know, we know that she's still doing her assassination stuff, but we've not really gotten too far or too into details about that. In a way, I also think that maybe they're just really trying to make this into a family show. So, in a certain sense, like, what she's doing is directly against those kinds of values, right? Which presents a pretty unique and interesting problem here. But we'll see how they handle that situation in the future. I do wonder if that's also the reason why we can't really see too much development on Yoru's side, right? Because in order to do development for her, we would need to focus a lot more on her actual job, right? Which is killing people. And that's, I think, directly at odds with how the anime so far is being portrayed. More like heartwarming, uplifting, bright, cheerful, kind of, really, in a sense, kind of like a something that you would show your children, right? So there's this kind of like difference here, which we'll see in the future, right? We'll see in the future. I do love, of course, I've been saying this throughout this entire arc, how even though it's not supposed to turn into like a rom-com catfight kind of situation, it eventually developed into one, even though it's not like just both the ironic and unironic circumstances allowed it to be this way, which I find incredibly hilarious. But we don't really see a firm conclusion to all this, right? In fact, there seems to be some things that are left unsaid when we see the brooding Yoru in the last scene there. So I do wonder if they're going to explore this a little bit more. I would definitely hope they explore this a little bit more. And yeah, I just hope for the future, right? And I guess another thing I should probably mention here that I haven't really talked about in the video portion. I've discussed this with some guys, with some of the commentators on the videos, but I haven't really acknowledged the situation in video form, right? Which is how, the entire situation here is quite a play on your normal sort of rom-com situation as well. In fact, the author also acknowledged it by bringing up Becky and her like soap opera, her drama, where, you have the childhood friend fighting against the newcomer, right? In a lot of rom-com situations where we have like multiple love interests and whatnot, it's always typically the main protagonist. If a male main protagonist, then they would be meeting this new girl who came out of nowhere, like the transfer student or a new colleague or something of that sort, versus someone who they've known for a very long time, the childhood friend kind of character, right? And as it goes with this type of a work, normally the childhood friend cannot win. So Fiona's sort of destiny was doomed from her very first background setting and all that. And even though I mentioned last episode and the episode before how what Fiona is saying makes a lot of sense, right? If you're looking at increasing the chances of operation success, obviously from the very get-go, they should have chose this route instead. But this is not, we're not entirely working on logic here in this Spy Family world, so it is what it is. And honestly, she just due to the nature of her setting, she's not going to be able to make any actual real progression. I mean, frankly speaking, Spy Family, you can't really even classify it as a romance, right? As far as I know, I think I asked this question before, there's not really any, budding romance between Yoru and Lloyd as of yet, even in the manga. But I presume that will come someday and sometime, right? I still expect like the full ending for this work, whenever it may be, to be one where they actually do become a family for real, right? So that kind of is necessary. It's just that maybe we haven't touched on that because it's still quite early on, right? But anyways, what I was trying to say at the end here is that I do love how they're sort of like utilizing the same romance kind of tropes, rom-com kind of tropes, even though it's not strictly or inherently a rom-com. So I think that's a pretty clever way of making this entire situation. And I think to me it adds another layer of hilarity because even though the normal rom-com formula, even though it's old and cliche, it still brings a smile to people's faces, right? And the fact that they're doing this while not being truly that kind of situation in the first place, that just adds another layer of irony that I do love very, very much. So yeah, and I guess those are my thoughts for this particular concluding arc here. And Sakura Ayane, voice actress of Fiona, wonderful job. Definitely added a lot to the scenes and whatnot. I kind of wonder, like, how exactly is this how do they make this kind of distinction between her normal self versus when she's going completely wacko in her inner monologue? Like, I'm expecting in the manga form they probably use like some different fonts or different bolded or italicized words, or I know, like maybe making everything that Fiona's surface persona speaking, like very short and to the point, like very small text bubbles, whereas all her inner monologues are like 10 times the size of her normal text bubbles or whatnot. I guess they probably use something to that effect, but definitely it works much more in anime form as well. So there we go. That is it for episode 23 of Spy Family. Thank you guys. See you guys next time. Bye bye.